Welcome to the Eclectic Thrifter and Crafter, where we thrift and craft with purpose. It's Tea Tuesday. Or in my world, Crafty Tuesday. Today, we are going to have an unboxing. Hello. Well, I have been the recipient of a minor clean out from Portland, Oregon. So let's get started. I already know what's in this box because my sister-in-law emailed me and told me what it was because she accidentally broke the shade. This is an antique lamp from her aunt, and she thought that I might be able to find a shade for it. I don't know who the maker is, but it's that lovely pale pink milk glass. And it's a very thin milk glass. It's not a very thick one. Now that brass ring is called a fitter, and I'm going to need a 10-inch shade with a 10-inch fitter. And there it is. Let's see what we'll be able to find down the road. Now, one of my purchases was on eBay. I don't go on eBay very often. I go on eBay if I'm looking for a specific miniature, which I've only done a couple of times. And I've shopped eBay a little bit for my brother, who's putting together an ambulance bus from a MASH unit. But remember my Aladdin lamp? I thought that I would search for a finial for it, and I found one. I thought this seller had a delightful way of repurposing old magazines. This is from 1934, and she used a couple of pages to wrap the package, and I think that is really charming. What a wonderful idea. Pixie Treasures is the name of the eBay store. The link will be in the description below. She has a delightful selection of vintage items. Now this finial does not match my lamp, but I thought it was very pretty. It was $18, and I will use it for another lamp when I find the one that matches mine. The shape of the lamp finial for my lamp is a torus shape, and it's covered with oak leaves. But I thought this was very, very pretty, and it'll do for right now. Someone chose to paint it, so I'm going to have to remove all that paint, but I think it's going to clean up quite nicely. And here's a lovely little thank you card. Again, Pixie Treasures eBay store. Link in the description below. Now we've brought up the second box. Now let's take a look and see what's inside there. I am usually the recipient of a clean out when my son goes to visit his aunt in Portland. This is a wine bottle, and I can see right now that it is from my mom's family, my cousins in Washington. So this is something that they gave my brother in 1975. So we'll have to set that aside. A couple little doilies. We'll find a use for those. And here's one book. And I think there's another book in there, so let's take a look. We'll rearrange a little bit. Give us some room. What is that? That is the Sacred Scimitar. So that was given to my brother Pete in the 50s by my mom and dad. So So he would have been probably about 14 years old when they gave him that book. I recognize this book. My mother purchased this in Scotland when she went. I think we each got one, but I don't have my copy anymore. I've moved so much. But it's nice to have it back again. So this is a study of Scottish tartans. That's my father's side, because my father's family goes way back in Scotland, long before King James and Mary Queen of Scots. Way, way back. It's a very old family. My brother really liked that, and I'm going to give that to my son. Here's a simple little vase. It's very fine porcelain, but there's no maker's mark on it. Well, that's very sweet. Very pretty. Oh, look. That was made by my Uncle Roy. He was an art teacher at University of Colorado, Denver. He's passed away now. He's been gone for a little more than 10 years now. Oh, plates. Aren't those adorable? These plates were produced by Franklin Mint, and the artist is Lowell Harrell. Very, very nice. They'd be wonderful in a country kitchen. If I had a country kitchen, I'd keep them. I looked this up afterward, and this recently sold for $27. So the estimated value for the set of 4 is $65. Oh, we have a little brass dog. Isn't he pretty? He can live right next to the cat and the cow. And we have an art glass vase. Very nice. It looks to be hand blown, but there's no signature on it. I don't think it's Murano or anything particularly special. Oh my goodness, a chicken mug. And another chicken mug. I'm sensing a theme here. There must be more, and there are. There's 3, 4, and in the end we have 6. I looked these up, and the resale value is $43 for the set of 6, and they're made by Gibson. What else do we have here? Oh, I remember him. He's a funny little man. I always thought of Lion Witch in the Wardrobe when I saw him. He lived on a shelf at the top of the stairs at my brother and sister-in-law's house. And I've known him since about 1973. That's when they were married. There's a frog, and I have a feeling that came from my mother. I think my mother gave that to them. Let's see, I'm trying to find. Oh, look at those. Aren't those adorable? My son adopted those quickly. Really charming. There's a little plate. Now let's get back up to the table. This way I won't make anybody dizzy. We have a little glass duck. Here we have a little pewter deer, little fawn sleeping. I think that's by Hudson. There's a number on the back of it that says P104, but it doesn't say Hudson on it. And that's adorable. They must have got that at the ocean. That is really sweet. Really creative. And we have one little figurine. 2, 3. There's a third one in there. And number 4. Now I think when they're grouped together, they're called the Prayer Sisters, and they are by Willow Tree. They resell for about $27 as a set. Singly, the sales price fluctuates. This little duck is cast iron. He's pretty heavy. It's a nice little paperweight. Oh, I remember this. I grew up with this. My parents were stationed in Alaska during World War II, and this came back with them from Alaska. And I have a scrimshaw cribbage board about the same size. That was always on the bookshelf. That brings back a lot of memories. My brother was born on the Army base up in Alaska. My mother was the secretary to the general on base. Oh, there's another little duck. I'm sensing another theme. Let's have a sip of coffee before we move on. Oh, I know what this is. My brother had a chicken collection. I had no idea my brother loved these little things. But I visited one time, not too long before he died, and sure enough, he had this wonderful Hands on a Nest collection. Now, I hope my sister-in-law kept a few. She was downsizing. She received many things from her aunt, and there was a point that her house sort of looked like an antique store. So she was downsizing and thought that I'd enjoy these. Well, I do. This little lady is very early, thin milk glass, and I'll show you. It's almost opalescent. You can see it just there. It is opalescent. Very sweet. The theme of this clear out seems to be chickens. This is Amberina. Very pretty. This is one of the prettiest Amberina items that I've seen. I'm not terribly fond of it, but this is particularly pretty. Done very well. Isn't she beautiful? She is now sitting in my living room window. Oh, and slag glass. I love slag glass, especially the purple. Very pretty. All of these hens are now living on the windowsill on each side of the love seat in the living room. Now this is just a piece of art glass made in China. It is made by Gorgeous Designs. It does not have a high resale value, so I'm going to set it aside for the parking lot sale I'm going to be in the spring. Oh, another hen. That's a pretty one. have a simple little grape bottle, and that's going to go to the parking lot sale as well. And now we have a little art glass basket made in China, so I'll save that for the parking lot sale. There's no maker's mark on it, and it's not signed. Here's another little hand-on nest. It's a clear glass one. The stain has worn off. We could replace that. That won't take much. We've done that before, haven't we? And there's a pretty little porcelain one. This one appears to be a bit older because of the felt on the bottom, so I think that's an older piece. Let's see if there's anything else left in the bin. One more thing, and it's very heavy and it's on its way. A marble cutting board. Isn't that pretty? It is a very sturdy and heavy cutting board. Well, we've come to the end of my unboxing, and I am the happy recipient of another person's clean out, and I'm very appreciative. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like and subscribe. Share my thrifting and crafting channel with your thrifting and crafting friends. I welcome your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Check us out on Instagram and tap that notification button for upcoming announcements of thrifts and crafts. But most of all, have a lovely, lovely day.